congratulate the Honourable Member for Honiton and Sidmouth for securing this vital debate about NHS dentistry in the South West. As has already been said, the issues with access to NHS dentists are known only too well by my constituents in South West Devon. Since 2020, the number of dentists in the county has fallen from 549 to 497. This means that each remaining dentist must see almost an additional 300 patients every year. It is obviously clear that we have a significant shortage of dentists in Devon. Only 34.7% of adults in the county have seen a dentist in the last year, which compares to 55% 10 years ago. And as we've also heard from the Honourable Member for Exeter, very few children are also seeing dentists. 46.6% of children in Devon in the last year, which compares to 61% in 2016. If you live in or around Ivybridge in my constituency, there are currently only 2 dental practices within a 10-mile radius accepting new patients. This only gets worse for the more rural and coastal communities, and indeed the statistics are not good for the communities within the Plymouth boundary. However, I am aware that one anomaly within Devon is the fact that there is actually a waiting list for NHS dentists. At one recent meeting with local senior health officials, it was pointed out that Devon's waiting list is very unusual and perhaps even unique. We have 60,000 people on that list believing they are entitled to an NHS dentist, when, as was discussed at the same meeting and what I was led to believe on the day, the existing NHS contract was only designed to serve 55% of the adult population, the assumption being that others would access dental care privately. Now, I'm not making a judgment on whether that's right or wrong, I'm just stating the fact that most people don't actually understand that. And actually, the dental system was set up to be more like an optician than a GP at the time. So the issues that we currently face in Devon have in many ways gone beyond these points being particularly relevant, but I do think it is perhaps worth reflecting how important it is that we are honest with people going forward as we make changes to make sure that they understand what the impact of those changes might be for them. Before I reach the main point I wish to raise today, though, I want to briefly mention 2 challenges faced in Devon: how we train dentists and how NHS contracts are awarded. Devon is fortunate, as has been mentioned already, to have an outstanding dental school at the University of Plymouth. When it opened, many believed it would provide the city and the region beyond with a ready supply of new dentists to help us tackle our dental shortage. However, the school is so successful that it is incredibly difficult to secure a place to study there, which has an impact on local people being able to study at home and perhaps stay after graduation. Equally, I've been informed by an expert on dental training that how we train dentists makes it very difficult for people to stay where they have studied. So those local dentists may not actually, the non-local dentists, so the ones that might be coming down from the Midlands, the system at the moment almost forces them to go back to where they came from rather than staying in the South West if they wanted to. So I would urge the Minister to look into this issue to see what more can be done to ensure that students can more easily stay where they have studied, because at the moment, even if you fall in love with Devon as a dental student, it is very difficult to stay and help us solve our problems. Secondly, I'm concerned about the lack of flexibility in the awarding of new NHS contracts at a time when we are in desperate need of more dentists. I was contacted about a year ago by a dentist seeking to open a practice in my constituency who was told by the ICB that the window for applications had closed. Now, that may have been the case, but given the fact that we are in such dire need of dentists, perhaps there could have been an exception made. That leads me finally to the main point that I wish to make. In the last 12 months, 876 people attended the emergency department at Derriford Hospital for a dental reason. 18% were under the age of 20 and 82% over 20. That is an average of 2.4 people per day having to resort to using the emergency department to access dental care. Of these patients, 77 were then admitted for treatment. What I would just like to say to the Minister as I close is that is why we need to see the stalled Future Hospitals review of Derriford Hospital's urgent and emergency care funding provided, because it's part of that bigger picture of how we provide dental care across the South West. If we're freeing up emergency, we've got more capacity to be able to look after the region more fully. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.